Hello everyone, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for October the 19th, 2010. Now our first position for tonight is going to be in the stock market. We're going to be looking at the NVIDIA stock, the NVDA. Now what we want to do with this one is we're looking for a buy position. We have a fresh crossover from Vantage Point on the triple EMA cross. Now all of our other crossovers are pretty much lining up here. Now what we're going to do before we go into our pivot support areas, we're going to have a look at these crossovers to make sure that everything is lining up. So our first one here tonight is our short-term crossover. That's been continuously moving up. Everything looks good there. Our medium-term crossover, we can see that this medium-term crossover is fresh. It's only about 3 or 4 days old, so everything looks good there. Now, what's interesting about this trade is the long-term is struggling a little bit here. We can see that it's just getting ready to make this crossover again to the upside, but the triple EMA, which is our critical medium to longer term indicator, it is actually confirming a buy signal. So we can see that this has moved up. Our critical levels 11.15, 11.24, and 11.31 with the close of 11.36. So for tomorrow, the 11.15 area, we're in a very good buying position in my opinion on this stock. So let's have a look at the predicted high and the predicted low for tomorrow. Now again, I anticipate a bigger move on this, probably $1 or $2 a share potentially. Now we're going to list this as a day trade, but again, for you medium and longer term traders, I think this one actually has some potential. So 11.17 is the predicted low for tomorrow from Vantage Point, and again, the predicted low is consistent with that 18-day predicted moving average. This corrective move coming back down off this 1240 area. We can see that it's stalled right just above the 1040, 1050 area, and we're now beginning to move higher again. So at $11, it's pretty much a premium, in my opinion, a premium buy. Now let's go in and add a couple of other indicators on here and see what's actually happening with this stock. We're going to add in the predicted MACD and the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point, along with the predicted medium and long-term differences, and then we're going to hit apply to everything in our portfolio here. We can see here that the medium-term difference has crossed the long-term difference and is moving back up above that zero line. This suggests that Vantage Point's forecast is that this stock is coming out of that corrective move and is going to start moving higher. We can see that we were overbought here. It's come down off the overbought level, but our predicted true strength indicator is now running flat. That's a good indication of an upward momentum starting. Now looking at our predicted MACD, it's crossed the trigger to the downside, but we can see it's flattening out and it's above the zero line. It's absolutely critical to point out that this thing is not getting below that zero line of the predicted MACD, and everything looks like it's starting to point higher. So everything on this stock here looks like we've got some pretty decent potential on this stock, and if we can pick up anywhere between 50 cents and $1.50 on a $10 or $11 stock, that's a very, very good move. So that's our first position for tomorrow. Now our second position for tonight is going to be in the coffee contracts. Now under these softs, I like the coffee. There's a couple I like in these softs right now. I like coffee and I like cocoa. I like them both, but I'm leaning towards the coffee contracts here as the recommended buy, because we've got this fresh crossover here on this triple EMA, on top of which the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point and the predicted MACD are both suggesting that this is going to move higher. Now the predicted MACD point of interest here, it's just crossing over the zero line. That's a very good indication, and the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point has crossed the trigger also right on that zero line. This suggests a trending move is possible on these coffee contracts. Now critical levels here 183.06, 184.20, and 185.91 with a close of 185.60. So now that we've identified which way we want to trade this, we are going to check these crossovers just to be safe here. So let's have a look at the short-term crossover, because we've got some volatility around this triple EMA. The short-term cross has not crossed to the downside, so everything looks good there. our medium-term crossover from vantage point. Again, we've got a nice cross on this trigger here. Everything looks good on the medium term. That's what we would like to see, because again, we avoid the short-term cross. It's just a short-term directional indicator. Now the long-term cross here is we've got a nice fresh cross here, so everything looks good, and this is why I'm leaning slightly towards the coffee versus the cocoa. Even though I do like the cocoa contracts, I'm going to stick with this one. So now that we've identified that our short, medium, and long-term crossover from vantage point is all suggesting coffee is going to move higher, we've had a corrective move. We can see this long candlestick that's come down, just about touched the 18-day predicted moving average from vantage point and then bounced higher. That's a great indication we've had a little corrective move and we're getting ready to move higher. So now that we've identified which way we want to trade this, we want to buy in a dip. So now let's go in and have a look at the actual daily report from vantage point and see what we can come up with. We can see here that our neural index is down. That's a daily indicator, so we're going to use that as a buying opportunity. 183.53 is the predicted low, 188.34, so we've got a pretty wide gap there. So 183.53 is the predicted low from vantage point. Let's go back up here now and have a look at the close, excuse me, and see exactly where this is closed. Now we can see we've closed at 185.60, so we're going to look for a little bit of a pullback towards that 183.60 area, and from there we're going to get into a buy position, excuse me. So 183.53 is the low, 183.70, 183.75. That's what we're going to be looking for that pullback area. Now the good thing here with using the Vantage Point software is we can pre-identify these levels and we're going to let the market come to us. So with this close of 185.60, we can see 183.06, 184.20, anywhere in between that area. That's where we want to get in to our buy positions on these coffee contracts. So those are the market positions for October the 19th, 2010. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.